I was raised on, well, I started off in a family, okay? My parents were different from the prevailing culture. We were like, I don't even know if counterculture is the word. Like, we were the same as the culture, but different in a way too. I think more than other people, like our religion. We didn't have one. We just were raised religionless. My mom kind of tried to insert Christianity from time to time. Like, we understood that from my mom's point of view, the Christianity perspective, like, was correct. So we have, like, at least for me, I had this vague, like, sense that God is there somewhere in the background. Like, that is correct. But that he doesn't care. Like, he's not so involved. Like, he's not so, like this is the only way to go kind of thing. It's just kind of like, he wants us to have a good time. He loves us. He basically just loves us. And then my mom, how she treated us was kind of like that. Like, she basically just loved us and didn't want to be bothered by us because she was super stressed out. But, like, she genuinely wants and continues to want us to have a good time. There's just not a lot of, like, standards around, like, behavior. Like, it's cool. What do you want to do with you? Like, cool. What do you want to be? Cool. I don't care. Like, she's all the time telling us, just if you're this way, let me know. And cool. Any way you are. Unconditional love. She just modeled this unconditional love to us. And so that's how I see God as well. My dad was more like, you just didn't know. Like, he was more agnostic. Like, he just didn't know. He's like, yeah, I mean, if God's there, I'm hoping I'm doing things right, clean living. Like, he would talk about, be like, he was acting morally and ethically in his doings. I felt like he was honest with his fellow man, even if he, like, missed a deadline because he just got all tied up and wrapped up and stuff, and, like, it just got away from him. That happened pretty often, like, all the time. But he was honest. Like, he was actually trying. He thought he would be able to accomplish all that. He just had an unrealistic expectation, or, like, understanding of his ability to accomplish things, because he could accomplish a lot. So, like, I mean, everything is, like, probably, like, you probably can. I don't know. Or, yeah, I could do that. But then it just gets away from you, right? So, like, in his heart, he's honest because, like, he truly believes it. He's saying the truth of what he truly believes. That's honesty, right? Not understanding your ability to accomplish things, like the timeline it takes and, like, how to put tools away and stuff. That's just, like, another skill and ability, right? That's just, I don't know, like, honesty seems more like an ethical issue, like a code of conduct. The ability to put tools away and, like, stay on task and, like, accomplish timelines in a reasonable manner with appropriate breaks, the appropriate times. Like, that's a skill he didn't have. I don't think he wanted that skill. Like, I don't want that skill either. To me, that's not even a skill, that's a lifestyle. And, like, that seems like, I don't know, just kind of mediocre and dull. So my dad, it was just kind of on the fence. And it was just kind of like, I don't know, but I'm just going to have a good time here. Like, I'm not going to waste my time here. Just pretending to know something I can't know, or, like, I don't know. Like, nobody knows. Like, stop this. But he never said that. That was just the way he felt for me around the religion issue. Like, if I were to say, guess at what my dad's religious stuff is, I mean, he dabbled. He liked to explore a little bit, but it wasn't his passion. He liked fixing things and working on projects and stuff. He just didn't care about that stuff. I mean, he had some working knowledge of it. He knew about, like, Buddhism and stuff. Like, he took a philosophy class or two in college. So he has a smart remembering memory like me. And so he, like, knew stuff, just tidbits here and there. And he cared a bit about religion because he cared a bit about morals and ethics and like being decent, I think. And it was generally interesting to him. I just don't think he like wanted to go that deep into it because maybe it scared him, maybe it was confusing, I don't know. I feel like there was a theme of death around my dad as well, like a kind of sadness, but he was like accepting of it. But I'm not sure if he fully was accepting it, like when the chips are down, like when it really gets down to it, would he be accepting of it? Yes, that is the key. Like, I feel like there was a little bit of a thing there. But I think he was almost somewhat open about it because he would cry openly when speaking about his death. So when it's real for him, you know. I almost think I'm the other way. Like, I will cry openly thinking about death in others and things, but like my own death. Like, that's just ruthlessness. I eat. My body will get eaten. We're even. It's fair. There's no guilt. There's just balance. There's no nothing. It's just how it is. And then if your body is balanced, I feel like it helps you feel your soul at balance. I feel like if I consider myself as going on after this life, well, I feel like I have a relationship with God, but it's still hesitancy. Like, what if I have it wrong? You know, am I totally screwed? But then you have to think, well, God is a loving God, you know. Where did my totally screwed feeling come from? You know, with these being my parents were pretty good. But my dad, I wonder if he had some other stuff, though, because I kind of remember some stuff. But it's always kind of, like, foggy. I don't know. It's kind of mixed up. It's like I had two different dads. It's like those dads are not the same dad. I think that's how I coped with it. My dad, he didn't like things to not go his way. That stressed me out a lot. And see, these are tendencies that I also have. And it might be, it's a rule-following situation. So, if my dad was bad for me and caused distress of me in this way, he would get very upset, like, I don't know. He was a very easygoing guy most of the time. Like, most of the dang time. He was, like, fine to be around. Perfectly fine. Every now and then, he would get very angry. And, like... But is that normal? Is that like, oh yeah, that's everyone? Like, there was nothing, like, that's just, like, he did pretty good. He was like 9 out of 10. That's an A, you know? I don't know, like. So it's like, is that fine? Like, what was traumatic for me as a kid? What is trauma? What, like... Is that traumatic? I mean, that was upsetting. It felt unjust. Then there was like this immaturity, like an emotional immaturity around negative stuff. So I think part of it was like there was happy times all the time. Negative stuff, though, he really couldn't like engage with. If it was about him. And he made a lot of things negative. Like a lot of the family situation, he would negatify, like he would show a negative lens on it. Other people and things. But in like a joyful way. Maybe a concerned way. But it was always negative, like the words, but then like the feelings were usually of like companionship, camaraderie, joy, happiness around my dad. Like it was, but is that like a weird, is that normal? Is that like a weird like training of being like happily negative? I don't know. But then we had this sarcasm, like we did sarcasm a lot. Like that was our mode of everything, sarcasm, jokes. Like we were just always impish, not me and my dad only, but like my whole family. My whole family was impish. My mom was probably the least impish of all. And she would get very angry when my sister got upset for jokes. If my sister got upset with a joke, my mom would get very angry and tell her that we were a joking family. But we were a joking family, but my mom, I feel like, was the least impish of all, followed by my sister. The rest of us, the three of us left, were joking. My sister was in and out. She jokes sometimes. She doesn't like it sometimes. The jokes don't offend me or bother me. And I think that's probably why I like ICP. Oh, man. When I first got married, the siblings of my new in-laws, my new family, they had a different kind of joking. It was similar. It was similar enough. There was just always like a competition as well. Like the hostility, like, I don't know. Doesn't make it as good. So anyway, what was I going to say about the siblings? The feel was pretty good though. Pretty chill. Gossiping, like in my family, it's comfortable level of gossip. For the sake of information gathering, you know. They get upset more, though, I would say. They're definitely a more upset kind of feel. I mean, my family gets upset sometimes. Like, there's upsets. The upsets center around two specific people. People who don't like jokes. It's the same. It's, like, correlated. My husband's family felt more like my sister. Like, didn't like the jokes as much. Would do jokes, but didn't like the jokes that much. Yeah, that's what it's going to say. So, yeah, they were not down with the clown. They were, you know, my dad even went to an ICP concert with me. Like, he was down for anything. My dad was down. He was, oh man. I don't feel like I had trauma in my childhood. But that's another problem. Like, my dad wasn't very adult-ish, but then we're commanded to become like little children, aren't we? Be ye like little children. That's our commandment. So, like, should my dad be faulted for becoming like a little child? Because he did. I just don't know if we're supposed to be emotionally becoming like little children. I feel like maybe with emotional maturity, but then we are like teachable like little children. Like, become in what way, I guess we should say. Become in what way? And in what way are children delightful unto their parents' souls? I feel like in the Bible it talks about children being delightful unto our souls. They were raising them in such a way that they were delightful unto their souls. That was just commonplace. That didn't need to be spelled out. It's like, of course your child is delightful unto your soul. Why are you doing it any other way? Like, this is your child. This is your child. Like, don't let them get away with this stuff. You can take it as far as getting them stoned in the town square. Your child is going to be delightful unto your soul. Like, a rest unto your soul. It says that in the Bible. So when Jesus is like, become like little children, I think he means become like the child who's delightful into the parent's soul. Is your child delightful into your soul? But don't try to become like your child. I feel like that's kind of part of it. I feel like, how are they raising their kids to be delightful unto their souls? And would that be better for a child overall, to grow up being delightful unto people's souls instead of being loathsome unto people's souls? All the children, it may not be tablets. It may be they're using tablets to escape the situation of being loathsome to everyone's souls who they're around, because they're not taught proper behavior. So they're loathsome to everyone that they are around. And you wonder why they're throwing desks, you know? You wonder why they're acting out. They're just, everyone around them hates them. And they don't know why. And they have no way to figure it out because they're a child. All they have is what you gave them. Like, what they've been able to, like, figure out and glean, except nobody's being honest about their situation. So they have, like, all this incorrect information. You know, everyone gives their, or at least tries to give their Facebook life to, like, strangers, right? Before Facebook, there was just FaceTiming at the grocery store, just being there, face to what? No face, except you thought you were face to face, so you put on your face. Something about, we have to prepare a face to meet the faces that we meet. There's this Headless website, I don't know if you know about, I talk about it all the time, headless.org. You can see who you are, but not only that, I'm a big quotes person. They go into having quotes by every philosopher they can find, right? On headlessness, on having no head, and how the headless understanding of our incarnation here is like, this is the thing. Like, this is what Jesus is talking about. This is what Rumi was talking about. This is what Buddha was talking about. This is what everyone was talking about. Here's the proof in all these quotes. And it's like, whoa, like, wait a minute, what? It's like, whoa, wait a minute, what? That's crazy. And then if you go look into those quotes deeper in their context, it makes more sense. And so then it's like, oh my gosh, headlessness, the headless way. Straight is the gate and narrow is the way. So straight is the gate and narrow is the way. It's a straight gate. Aren't all gates straight? I guess you could have a crooked gate, but why would you? Even if you're making a gate out of a tree, like, it's just growing straight. You have a straight gate. Or even if it's like just an opening, like the poles on either side, why are they crooked? It's not working that way. Of course it's straight. What are you talking about? Straight is the gate, narrow is the way. Of course it's straight. Why do you emphasize straight? Maybe it's LGBTQ stuff. See, it's in the Bible. No, like, they didn't even think about that stuff. They didn't have those definitions are new. You can't even do that. You can't retroactively put words on, or can you? Is that like a way of reading the Bible, of using like our understanding on like what they were talking about. That's a way we could do it. Like when we're talking about raising kids and people are like, I'm going to become like a little child, and they become like horrible, emotionally immature and stuff, and just like, bleh. Or they're just, I don't know, or they're like letting their little children like run around like crazy because they're like, little children are perfect. We're commanded to be. Jesus said to suffer the little children not to come unto him. He said, suffer them to come to be, suffer the little children to come unto me. And like, don't turn them away. And anyone who turns them away is like in danger of hellfire or whatever. Like, so they're like, oh, my little children are perfect. And then they just don't discipline their little children. The little children are loathsome. The little children are loathsome unto the souls of everyone around them. That's the problem. That's the problem with your children. It's not that they are loathsome as individuals, and the children will not understand that. That their souls are like priceless in the eyes of God, but in the eyes of society, their souls, well, their little bodies were so unruly, it was uncomfortable for everyone to be around, because they were like stealing bread and like just being in the street dirty with a booger nose, like diaper half fallen off, full of poo, and they're just like, where is their mother? And this little baby's just in the road all alone, just sitting there. I mean, it's a neighborhood, it's safe, but still the high school kids come zooming through sometimes and just like, oh, where is this mother? But she's busy like trying to do a side business because it's hard to make ends meet, and like they're trying to work this out. But like the behavior of the kids is important, because those kids are growing up. Yes, they're tolerated and they're fine children, like they're joyful children. They just have a lot of behavioral issues that aren't being corrected because they're not being raised by their mother, they're being raised by each other. And their mother is busy because they have to make ends meet. And that's why mothers are important. That's why mothers are important societal structures. We're the pillars of society. We're holding it up. we're like holding up the children, because when the behavior sucks, like they're growing up to be loathsome unto each other's souls, and loathsome until everyone's loathsome to each other, and we just have this society where like they're lacking natural affection, right? It's just this horrible situation that nobody wants to be in. And then why are the suicide rates so high, right? What is going on? Why is everything so horrible? Like, your children need your smile like they need sunshine. And if you can't train them properly, then you need to train yourself to smile at their naughtiness. And I do try to smile at the naughty children and excuse it. It's not their fault if their parents suck. But, like, their parents don't know what to do either. So their parents sucked. And then their parents didn't know. Their parents sucked. Everybody's parents sucked. They didn't always suck, though. I don't know why the parenting started to suck. Was that really the greatest generation really sucked it up with the parenting? I'm somewhat pointing the finger at them, because they didn't suck that much. The greatest generation didn't suck. Or did they? Were they loathsome unto their parents' souls? Maybe. How long have people been saying, like, oh, these kids don't know how good they've had it? And like, oh, I hate these kids. People have been saying that a while. Maybe it's more said as a joke, though. Because, like, I say that as a joke to my kids. Because my children are not loathsome unto my soul. They are sometimes. Sometimes I need to take a break. Oh, boy. Does that mean I'm failing as a parent? Kind of. Why are they loathsome to my soul sometimes? Well, I'm fixing it. I'm looking at the behavior and I'm saying, yeah, this behavior, like, logically sucks. No wonder they're loathsome unto my soul. I'm gonna crack down on this behavior. And by cracking down, I mean I'm, like, focusing on it, calling it out, talking about it repeatedly until one day I finally snap and I say, okay, child, this has gone on long enough. Like, I've been warning you and warning you and warning you and talking about this, discussing and trying to help you understand it. And there is a strong refusal on your part, an active refusal going on. So I'm just going to say that behavior is no longer allowed in the house. And you're going to go to timeout when I see it. straight to timeout. No more warnings, no questions asked. I've been doing warning timeouts for quite a while with a warning that the warning timeouts are coming to an end pretty quickly. And it's going to be as I see the behavior immediately to timeout. That behavior is not acceptable in the house anymore. Things like violence against other members of the family or personal property, extreme behaviors. I'm not like this militarian mom. I'm very relaxed. If you've seen my house, you would say, yes, this is a relax. This is the mom with the baby with the diaper. Like, I am that mom. I'm busy with other stuff too. We're getting up to some stuff. We're busy with our projects. We've got a lot going on. But at least they're polite when they're not stealing. They're not like loathsome unto my neighbor's souls. Well, they are loathsome unto one of my neighbors until we became friends, and now they're less loathsome, I think. They're respectful. They don't damage property. They don't steal. If they're stealing, it's a mistake. They didn't know. And as soon as they know, they don't do it again. Like, they're good. They're easy. They don't desire to steal because they understand personal property rights and stuff. Because we let them have property rights. We don't force them to share, which I will just, by definition, is not sharing. Taking a toy out of your crying child's hand to thrust it into another child's hands. The child who complained for it. That's not sharing. Share! Steal, thrust. The complaining child gets the prize. The obedient good child is now crying that the toy was stolen from them. Share with the word share attached. What the heck? That's not sharing. I'm so proud of them. They've learned to share. No, they haven't. They've learned to give up property rights, and property rights don't matter. Property rights do matter. I don't want to go to the grocery store and come out and my car's gone because somebody share your car. Why didn't you share your car? Because I was using it. I needed it. I wanted it right then. I was counting on it. I put in the work to cultivate to get it, or it was given to me as a gift for me to use for my purposes. Share? No. I want to come out of the grocery store and my car's still there. That's not sharing, that's stealing. And I don't want to live in a society of stealing. Like, I don't like stealing. I like things to count on because I'm like my dad. We like things done in a particular way. Stealing is a no. Stealing is no. I don't like that. I don't want to be around that. So I don't teach my children to do that. They have property rights. If somebody gives it something as a gift, like on a birthday, that's theirs. You can't take it away from them and share or put it in the community bin without their permission. Yes, if their personal bin overflows, they could opt to put in some of their old toys into the community bin because they still want to see them around. They don't really want to get rid of them. They're fine with the other children playing with them because the children are fairly careful. They're fine with other careful children playing with them. Because why wouldn't you be careful with your toys? Don't you care about your things? Don't you take care of your property? Oh, you don't, because you don't have property rights. Because you were sharing, right? So, and you have such an abundance. Your parents aren't paying attention to you, so they just give you a new toy now and then to keep your attention, and you just like play with it, and then part of playing with it is breaking it. Part of the play is breaking it to bits. And then they get you a new one. They kind of grumble and clean it up. They give you a little attention while they're doing it, seeing what you did, seeing what what your interest was. They come and see your interest, and then they get you a new one. And that's your cycle, is you play with it, break it, and they scoop it up, and then give you a new one. And that's that's like not taking care of your property. Like, my kids don't do that. They don't do that. Like, we don't do that. I don't know. I don't like that cycle. That seems wasteful. And it's stemming from inattentive parents. They're not getting what they need with the social community. That's why they're destroying. And so why do we have a society filled with children, grown children who want to destroy? Let's just break it and get a new one, is what they say. We'll break it and we'll make a new one. And you know what? That's the thing, is you could make a new one, but do you realize in the breaking, like, this is not a toy. We're going to break it. It's likely going to be catastrophic. Might be better, though. Like, if it's catastrophic for us, it might be better for the planet as a whole. But it really might not. Because if we stop our infrastructure, like how soon before the cities are complete like cesspools of inhabitability? Like you can't if the sanitation system goes down though, like if people don't show up to their jobs because that's a government job, they're gonna get paid. Is that how the government like binds us as well? Because we're like beholden to the government to take our waste away. Government overstepping. It used to be private companies. Maybe we should all just be private companies, private individuals doing a job. But I mean, that's infrastructure, right? That's what everybody needs, and we all enjoy it. It needs to be there. Like, it has to be the government. Maybe it was not a nefarious overtaking. It was just an understanding. We all need this stuff. Okay, so sanitation goes down. People don't show up for their job. Well, now everybody who lives in the city is screwed, right? You can't flush your toilet? How close do you live to your neighbors? A third of an acre? It's unsanitary to poop in the yard or to dig an outhouse. It is unsanitary, unhealthy for the groundwater and for like everybody around you to poop in an outhouse on 5 acres. Like if every family was doing it, 5 acres would not be enough. 10 acres is what you need to be able to poop in the ground and not have it cause problems. Do you live on 10 acres? Do you have 10 acres partitioned off around you that will make it safe to poop in your yard? Because when your toilet stops flushing, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go to the bathroom? You store it up in like bags, but here's an idea. Paul Wheaton on Permaze just barely dropped this idea. You store it in garbage cans. He legitimately is doing this. You make human manure. It's a thing you can do. If you just like, it can be dangerous because there are pathogens that grow like bacteria in the poo of humans that can affect humans because it's human. It's E. coli. Think of stomach bugs and stuff. Every like fecal oral contact is like a big deal. It's a really big deal in society. In humans, in biology, it's where it's the primary disease vector. If I remember when I was taking microbiology, something like I was shocked, like the biggest like chance of disease, like when they're like, oh, and this is a fecal oral vector. It was like all of them, like most of them. The majority of diseases are like poop contamination in your mouth, like poop, literal poop in your mouth. That's how you're getting them. So that's really gross. Hand washing is important, and managing the poo is important. If you live in an apartment building, okay, you live in an apartment, how are you going to go to the bathroom in a city? There's so many people. It's going to be disease happening almost immediately, and all the antibiotic resistance and like water contamination. Like there is going to be this exodus of city people flooding the country as this starts to unfold. Like the zombie apocalypse. They'll be covered in sores because they've been living in the city. They're going to look half dead, because they're going to be covered in like disease, right? That's horrific. It's kind of weird that they were doing the programming. Is that to make it more palatable for the children because they could see this coming? Like we've become too big and this is going to happen. So, I mean, we're just going to shut down. We're going to destroy the planet if we don't. I don't know. I think it should be more of a community choice, but it is a community choice, but people are getting riled up on the internet. Because of all the election, like, rigmarole. It seems intentional. Like, this is intentionally happening. Is it? It seems... I mean, if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, is it a duck? Or is it a clone? Do we know anymore? Do we know what's going on? I think that's the big thing, too. Just the unknowing. We just don't even know what's going on anymore. It's very scary. There's a lot of pseudoscience cropping up. It's scary because the pseudoscience, too... people in there what they believe. You know, people washing their meat and stuff. Don't wash your meat, wash your hands. Washing your meat just going to spread germs around, especially if you're just rinsing it in water. It's going to spread germs like bad. Can you imagine somebody like, I'm going to be clean because I know that we used to wash our meat. That was the clean way. We need to be very clean. It's the apocalypse. So I'm going to dip this chicken into the well to wash it, or into the stream, and I'm going to wash the chicken off so we're clean. You know, touching rocks and stuff, touching with all that salmonella going right in the stream where you're going to wash your dishes later, and like touching your hands, or you're going to just wipe on your apron, aren't you? You're just going to wipe them on your dress. You're not even wearing an apron, are you? Because you're not used to it. You don't know how to wear an apron. You're just going to wipe on your dress that you're going to wear for the whole week because you're not doing laundry very often. Because laundry is a pain in the butt. You don't even know how to do any of this stuff, so it's going to be a learning curve starting out. So yes, this time and this place, it's looking kind of crazy. So yeah, do we want to just break it and start again? I don't know. I kind of think we want to just try to fix it as we are. Let's do the Star Trek plan. Like, we're there. We're almost there. We can do it. We could just turn it around and be Zion right now. We don't have to get rid of the infrastructure. I think we just need to stop using money, maybe. Maybe everyone just keep going to work. Don't use money. But go to the grocery store and just try to get what you need. Just do needs only, and let's not panic. And just count on everyone doing their job. Let's just count on it. And if the groceries fall off, we'll just count on each other. Let's just start working on our gardens. Let's just start building our gardens so the grocery store won't be as much of a need. The grocery store is a new phenomenon. It doesn't need to be a need. The community can support itself, likely, if you're in a maybe less densely populated. Maybe you could even do rooftop gardens and stuff in a big city. And big cities, maybe you could count on shipments of supplies coming in, but food's going to be more expensive. You're going to have to pay for it. You're going to have to pay for it, the actual cost, because you've been getting subsidized food this whole time. So you don't know what the cost is. So you've been able to do all these lavish luxuries. You're not going to be able to do lavish luxuries anymore. We have a lavish luxury lifestyle. Those are not needs. Lavish luxuries are not needs. We need to look at needs only. Do you have warm food and clean water and clean air? Air is a need. You need clean. You can't live in poison, like a poison gas. You can't live in that. So you got to have a clean enough city that you're getting clean air to breathe. And you got to work on that yourselves, because we're out here in the country making your food for you. We'll keep doing it, but you need to really reduce your luxury lifestyle and just kind of work on your needs. The problem I see with this, the problem is, I think people living in the city are very weak-minded, very feeble-minded. I don't know if they're able to accomplish this. I see a lot of people crying about anxiety. You're going to have to deal with a lot of anxiety and like learn how to cope with that and manage it. Learn how to manage your anxiety, like actually in the real world, not with a pill, because we're not going to be able to support the pill industry anymore. Likely. Maybe the pharmaceutical people could still go to work and we could just make pills that we don't have time to make all the luxury, like fake pills that are just making people like need more pills. Let's just make the pills that work. Like ibuprofen. Let's just make some ibuprofen, acetaminophen, aspirin maybe. Let's make, I don't know, you could make something like things might be necessary. But you could just, antibiotics, those are great. And we should use those sparingly, efficiently. So maybe we could still make some pills. That would be great. Keep some of that infrastructure, and people need to start gardening and figuring out new infrastructure, new ways of getting goods and services to towns and places. So everybody who, quote, lost their job, now they can just come out to the country. If we just didn't do money though, maybe So maybe it won't be more expensive, just the work. It's the amount of work it takes. So you're going to need to send people out to the country to collect food, and we can make food. But you send out some of your stuff too. What are you making in there? Are you like being productive? Like, what are we getting in exchange? You know, what are we getting out of this deal? Maybe just the infrastructure, like continue going. Like we still can have internet. Like, could we? I don't know. That'd be cool. Or like new parts for like broken things. That would be cool. So people can find new niches, you know. We could do that. We don't have to break it like violently. We could maybe break the system peacefully by doing the Jesus stuff. I think it's hard to say a catastrophic breaking of the system. And they spray the edges here. I don't like this. I don't like the poisons being dumped all over, like, my brothers and sisters, the plants. Like, we can just chop those? Do we need to spray with poison? I don't know. We already have the road. Why do we need to, like, I mean, we do need to tame it down, but, like, chop it. Just chop it, I guess. Just chop it. I don't know. Maybe we have to poison. Maybe I don't know enough about the system. And I don't know. The system is so complicated that I don't know if that's even realistic. Like the idea that we could just kind of keep doing our jobs for no money and just like getting what we need. So maybe the grocery stores stay stocked, and like that happens gradually over time where we start like doing things a different way because people are still going to their jobs. Maybe people will figure out a better way as we don't charge any money for any of our goods and services. We just show up, put in your 8 hours of work, just work, do your job. Good, do it good, put in an effort. Maybe don't even do 8 hours of work. Maybe 6 hours is enough. Put in effort. We can figure out maybe each job could have like less hours that are necessary for each employee. I don't know. Put in work, come back, put in more work into your system. I don't know. Find out a way to do some work today, and then we'll just get it done. It could work. Just go to the grocery store and just get the groceries you need. Don't try to stockpile. It'd be scary though. Maybe we should hurry and try to stockpile. Like everyone should work together on like community stockpiling, like planting huge fields of wheat and stuff. Community stockpiling a little bit to protect against famine, you know, because sometimes there's a bad year sometimes in agriculture. And maybe we can all bear that burden instead of just the farmer bearing the burden of the risk to produce food for everyone. I think that's what the subsidies were intended for originally, but they're not, I feel like they're not helping the system work though. Maybe the consumer needs to be affected by that lean year as well. Because we're not actually having lean years. We're able to get food from other places, aren't we? That seems so crazy that we've been living this long without any kind of like major famine. Where people are, I mean, things are more expensive. Are people going hungry though? Maybe. Maybe this is a famine.